we're going to talk a little bit about some of the violence against Chinese Americans that has been happening recently. So we're going to talk about signing petitions online too, and talk a little bit about that. So like I said, so a lot of you probably already know about the sort of increase in hate crimes against members of the Asian community, Asian American community. And there was one really horrible one in Georgia recently, but that they've been on the rise just in general. Some of it has to do with the really negative language that was spread by the last administration and by a lot of people on the right about COVID. And it's really gross, and it's very sad and angering that this is happening right now. And there's been a lot of effort within the city, within cities sort of across the country over the weekend to have protests and make sort of make it clear that we're not going to stand for these kinds of hate crimes. And so I want to show you this for two reasons. First of all, because if you read through it and want to sign it, I want to give you the opportunity to do that. The other thing is I want to talk a little bit about signing petitions in general and how this is like another thing that you can do online. Okay, so let's click on this. All right, so this is the link. I just sent this to myself in an email. So this is a petition through a website called change.org. And what they do is sort of host petitions for political issues and stuff like that. And what they'll do is if you sign one of these, they'll send them to the person that it's intended for. So this is like, I think this is local, state, and national government that they're sending this to. And what it is calling for actions to prevent Asian Americans from hate crimes and bias attacks. So you see here that there's currently 5,786 signatures, and the goal right now is 7,500. So if you go down, you can see the text of the petition, some of which is better tracking of hate crimes against Asian Americans, providing more resources and training to hate crime unit officers, making a curriculum for the Department of Education that talks about Asian American history and talks about like how hate crimes against Asian Americans are terrible, and gives resources to teachers for talking about that. So there's a number of things, media campaigns. It's just a number of measures to stop further violence against Asian Americans. Okay, so if it's something that I agree with, which I do, I'm going to say sign this petition. And what I'm going to do there is enter my first name, my last name, and my email. I'm not going to do it right now because I actually already signed it, but that's what you would do. And what that does, first of all, I want to note to you that this is a secure site. So if you get something like this to sign a petition, like everything else, just check for that little lock. And if it's something you agree with, then go ahead and sign it. And one of the things that you may get from doing this is because you're putting your email in it, you might get emails in the future about other related campaigns. And that's, you know, maybe you don't want that. You can always unsubscribe to it. But if you do want that, then you get to know sort of what's going on and what you can sign on and be sort of actively supporting through things like these online petitions. And they can make a big difference. Like if they have a good number of people, it's all about numbers, then they can really affect like lawmakers and people's choices. It's just saying, you know, like I'm in support of this. And if you have that in numbers, it's a really big deal. So I urge you to sign this. It gives you this thing right here where it says display my name and comment on this petition. So what that means is like you can either have your name displayed or not. So if you want your name on there, that's fine. And you just keep that checked. If you would rather be anonymous, you'll still count as like as a name, a signature on there, but other people, when they look at the petition, won't be able to see that it's your name. So that's up to you. So somebody says, stop Asian American hate. We're Chinese Americans. The USA is our home. I don't want to see any more Asian hate activities. Stop Asian hate. So if you wanted to say something like that, once you've signed it, it'll give you the option to comment. So anything, if you wanted to say something in addition, just to add to it, that's where you would do it. And I think you have to display your name if you're making a comment. I'm not sure you can do the comments anonymously. So it's good to look at these comments too, though, because you see people sort of being vocal and saying, what they think. So if you have something to add to it, that's a really good thing to do, and it can encourage other people to sign as well. So Christina's going to share hers because she hasn't signed it yet. Okay, so you see there where it says sign this petition. Oh yeah, and Christina, you're in there already. So you see right there near on the right hand column where it says I'm signing because, that's where Christina would write a comment. And then if she doesn't write a comment, look, she's just going to click on sign this petition. So yeah, and then the thing that they say there at the bottom, it's not like they're asking you for money. They're only asking you for money to continue the campaign. You don't have to give money for that. It's just to make sure that other people see the petition. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. Then you see that that button there where it says no, I'll share instead. So what you can do instead is share it on your social media. I mean, it's been really awful, and I think the way that some people have talked about COVID has just been really atrocious. So we just want to make sure that everybody's hearing that we know that that's wrong and that we're against it and that we're not going to stand for it anymore. It's just really, really sad that we have to have this conversation. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.